Louis C.K. has sold out his comedy tour, well, at least in 3 shows in Pittsburgh. Sold him out quick. And the comedy club owner actually stood up for Louis C.K., basically saying the people who attend our comedy club, they have a choice to if they want to pay tickets and see him or not. And if you don't, you can protest outside or whatever. And he said, as a comedy club owner, it's not for me to decide who wants to see who. So that should be the position of all comedy club owners, by the way. But in this Vulture article, one of the comedians who is set to be part of one of those Pittsburgh shows with Louis C.K. has backed out. So, from Vulture, they write, a comedian backed out of a gig because of Louis C.K. So Tig Notaro offered him a job instead. As you know, Tig Notaro got, the second she threw Louis C.K. under the bus, she lost her show because she's not funny. So, there's Louis. Some folks in the comedy community maintain that the market should decide when it comes to Louis C.K. Let the laughter of the crowd be the arbiter of whether or not he's paid a sufficient price for masturbating in front of women without their permission. Something he has fully admitted to. But Pittsburgh-based comic John Dick Winters, really? So John Dick Winters' position on the CK matter is a little different. I don't want to work with anyone that will work with Louis C.K. or anyone like Louis C.K., he wrote for the Pittsburgh Current, did he? And that's why he backed out of his gig where C.K. was also slated to perform. So something tells me he wasn't on a show with Louis, is that he was going to do stand-up at one of these places and 2 people were going to show up and then Louis sold it out. So he was trying to get some press and be like, I won't work that comedy club either. Winters explained how long he's worked in his comedy career to land club sets, but said it ultimately means more to him to maintain his absolutely no creeps policy. So basically, this dummy has had a career and he just now built up to get into a comedy club. Wow. That's bad. That's almost Ian Ellis bad. So, he's quoted, one thing I take incredibly seriously as someone who books upwards of 200 shows a year at my own venue and comedy festival, oh, Jesus, is not working with people who are effing creeps. And there are a lot of them out there. Let me tell you, at all levels of comedy, it's one thing to have these progressive liberal beliefs, but they mean literally zero if you don't act on them when needed. As a straight white guy who has some power in my field, I take my role as an ally seriously. First of all, that was SJW 101. No one knows who you are, dude. The title of this article is Comedian Backs Out. They didn't put your name because no one knows what your name is. And cut to SJW. Ugh. God, you can only imagine what his 10 minutes of material is. Hey, we gotta stop that orange guy in the White House, am I right, guy? I want my shows to be a comfortable place for women, POC, people of color, LGBTQ, and anyone else to perform. In the past, I've shut down shows, banned comedians, and stood my ground, as far as drawing a line in the sand concerning who I will and will not work with. Did ya? No one knows who you are, no one cares. Winters posted the current article to his Facebook page, and Tig Notaro appreciated his decision so much that she dropped into the comments and offered him a spot opening for her at a coming show in Harrisburg. Winters accepted. So if you're a comedy fan in the area, make sure to catch a quality Notaro show while supporting a local comic who is willing to publicly say this. You know, because he couldn't just take a stand in private. He had to publicly say it, virtue signal. It's a common complaint I hear on the independent comedy community. That means losers who aren't funny. Especially from women, about these folks who produce and book shows that let effing creeps perform. These producers talk a big progressive game. saying all the right things and knowing all the buzzwords, and then let scumbags do their show because they don't want to create any waves. I talked to other comedians about my situation, and every one of them told me that I shouldn't let Louis being at the Improv disrupt something I worked hard on for years to get. Well, after that, I'm definitely not a perfect person. I have my own demands and have been called out, rightfully so, for my own mistakes. But I won't let that hinder me from doing whatever I can to stop this bullshit whenever possible. Alright, so this dude's a virtue signaling cornball. He's not funny because you never heard of him. No one ever has heard of him. He follows the same old, I bet you like half of his comedy is like Black Lives Matter. Like he's not probably doesn't do comedy. He just stands up there doing political slogans and stuff. It's so sad to see. But I mean, this cornball and that Tig Notaro is done. Her show is over. She's not funny. I think that's what these people forget. You're not funny. That's why your careers, no one knows who you are. He's going to go do a Tig Notaro show that 10 people are at. No one can bring up a Tig Notaro bit. Because, like, I get your SJWs and your progressives, but that's not your job. Your job is to be funny, and you're not. And you never will be. That's why you'll never make it in comedy. And you'll always be a failure. And you have to try and do little stunts like this to try and get 2 people at your show. Because you've realized that your whole act isn't people laughing, it's people clapping in agreement. You don't tell jokes. You just go, Trump bad, Republicans bad, and people just go, yeah. No one laughs though, because you're not funny people, and you stink. So, but Louis sold out some shows, and they're not happy about it.